Welcome to the Omegas in Hormones event. Okay, any questions that you have, you can put it in a chat for now or just wait until the end. All right, we're going to start this off real smooth. Like, let's hide these panels because that's gonna kind of annoy me there. All right, let's start it from the slide, the beginning. So, welcome everyone. Let's move this here. All right. We're starting on time. So I want to know, where are you listening from, right? Where are you listening from? What state are you in right now? Right? What time zone are you in right now? It could be 6 p.m. You could be on the West Coast, right? So we want to know, where are you listening from? All right, go ahead and put it in the chat. All right, put it in the chat. Also, how did you hear about this event? I always love to know because I want to know like which of my channels, my funnels that you guys are really coming from, whether it's via email, whether it's through a personal person, like somebody has sent you this event. How did you hear about this event? I'm going to kind of like, okay, let's look at the chat. Let's look at the chat. Okay. Instagram. Ashley said Instagram. Cool, cool. Anybody else? How'd you guys hear about this event? All right. So go ahead and put that in the chat. So this is so important. You want to make sure that you are prepared to take notes because it's a lot of information that, we're not really prone to. And I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, let's decline. Let's do that. Okay. Okay, let's check the chat. Everyone says from Maryland. Okay, through Keela and David. Okay, great. Wonderful, wonderful. I'm loving to hear that. Okay. So be prepared to take notes. All right. So much information that's going to be shared. So this is what we're going to cover. Right. And we're going to like breeze through this. I have a lot of slides, but you guys, I made these slides so that you can screenshot it if you like. I definitely want you to screenshot it. All right. What we will cover, we'll unpack how omegas help hormone systems communicate better. That's your thyroid, adrenals, your reproductive hormones. Right. We'll talk about what low omega intake can look like. What does an omega deficiency really look like? And why this matters if you're in menopause, perimenopause, because the research suggests that omegas help with these symptoms of menopause. And for women in their 30s and 40s that is not in the menopausal state, they're premenopause, we can discuss how supporting omega intake can help reduce excess tissue stimulation, which is linked to challenges like fibroids, ovarian cysts, breast cysts like polycystic breast. So this is important for you to really pay attention to how omegas can change your life. Now, is anyone taking a specific supplement? We got some people coming in. Is anyone taking like any supplements right now? Like whether it's an omega, anything that you're taking on a daily basis. Like you're like, I am sticking to this. This is like my routine right here. Right? Go ahead and put that in the chat. All right. So let's get right into it, right? Point of view. My hormones are out of control. It's misery. I've heard it so many times, right? And specifically, we're listen. We gotta unpack this, right? We gotta talk about the challenge first before we get to the solution. It's miserable for a lot of people, right? Women in their 30s and 40s. How many are in their 30s and 40s? If you are in that range, put a 2 in the chat, right? You may deal with heavy or irregular periods, painful cramps and pelvic pain. They may have diagnosis like endometriosis, uterine fibroids, ovarian cysts, polycystic, that's the fibrocystic breast due the hormone changes, breast tenderness, right? Weight gain, bloating, mood swings, anxiety, depression, fatigue, and low libido. And women in their 40s and 50s and beyond, right? The hot flashes and the night sweats. I hear that women are waking up like drenched in their clothes. How many of us have experienced that or know somebody who has experienced that, right? Joint pain and stiffness from bone loss, right? How many of us know that estrogen contributes to how your joints work, how your bones operate? Higher risk of osteoporosis that deals with the joints. Higher risk of heart disease and high cholesterol. These are the challenges when it comes to what is called the menopausal state. And so on and so forth, vaginal dryness, low libido. So all of these different these misery signs of hormone imbalance, right? So we're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to turn. And a lot of women turn to HRT, right? Hormone replacement therapy. And matter of fact, there's this big thing going on in California, I believe, where Halle Berry went live saying that the governor was trying to take away HRT as making it more so not a requirement, not paid for by the what is it called? Insurance. Okay. So is there another way that we can have balanced estrogen and progesterone levels throughout our life? Right? Is this thing that we call menopause a real challenge across the world, right? Where, and I talked about this on my live earlier, is it something that we're not doing of why we're experiencing more menopausal symptoms within the US American women? So this is what happens when your estrogen levels drop. Okay. So menopause and low estrogen. These are the symptoms, right? So menopause is a symptom. I want you to write that down. Menopause is a symptom of low estrogen. So we're giving disease names symptoms, right? This is what happens. You're hot. You have hot flashes, night sweats. Estrogen helps with temperature control. So when it drops, the body overheats. Then there's bone loss. Estrogen protects the bones. So without enough, your bones get weaker. And then there's other changes like mood swings. You may have challenges sleeping, skin issues, and decrease of energy. So we really have to look at menopause through a holistic lens. Is this something that we can really expect when we turn 40 and 45 and into our 50s? Or is it something that we're deficient in? What is happening in our body that we're not able to produce estrogen as high as we were when we were in our 20s and teens and even early 30s? So it just happened because you got quote unquote older. All right. It's something that we're not doing. And this is the root. Hey, you guys can screenshot this. I really, really want you to and take notes as well. You record it more when you write it down. Okay. So your liver, your gallbladder, and your estrogen. Now, the reason why I put this one together is because I came across this research where it stated that women who go on HRT, which is hormone replacement therapy, right? Hormone replacement therapy are at higher risk for gallstones and liver issues. And the reason why that is because the hormone replacement therapy, it can either spike your estrogen or lower it too much, or the same with progesterone. So it's never like an exact science, right? To the exact female body. Everybody's body is different. Every female body is different. So, what should we all do to make sure that our estrogen is in balance no matter what age? Now, let's take a look here. Estrogen starts in your liver. How? Because it's made from cholesterol, and cholesterol is produced from your liver. So now the job of the liver is to clear out all of that excess estrogen. It's supposed to break it down, but it can't. Why? Because we spend our lives eating a lot of cooked food, right? We don't do detoxes at least 4 times a year. We eat a lot of fried food. We eat a lot of oils, saturated fats. We don't do enough cleanses. And so the liver becomes fatty. We have gallstones that we don't know about, which blocks the estrogen from leaving the body. And so excess estrogen backs up into your bloodstream, which raises what doctors call the bad cholesterol. And then it overstimulates tissue growth. And now this is where your fibroids come in. This is where your endo comes in. This is where your ovarian cysts and breast cysts and all of those diseases that's linked to hormone imbalance, which is stimulated tissue growth in these areas. And then there's also the stress connection, right? A lot of women who deal with hormonal imbalance, there's a stress factor involved because your liver, your adrenals, they work together. So if you have high stress hormone, which is the cortisol, it's going to tell your progesterone, hey, you got to get out of here. You can't be here. I'm taking over because we sense fear. Your body is like, I'm in fear. So we have to prioritize the cortisol before we prioritize progesterone. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Am I going too fast? I need some feedback in the chat. Are you guys like really, really absorbing this? Of how the body is so amazing that we have to really look at the root as to where all of the this is coming from. Okay, I'm gonna check the chat real quick. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. And don't we're gonna get to the we're gonna get to the solutions. Don't you worry. We are gonna get to the solutions. So I asked ChatGPT, this is what I asked, right? I said, Chat, based upon anatomy and physiology, which is taught in medical school, why I had a couple misspellings. Why isn't there any emphasis on put on liver health and balance and hormones? And this is what it said, right? Medical trainers is often treating the symptoms. These symptoms. Did I say symptoms? These symptoms. So HRT, hormone replacement therapy, for those that, just tuning in, or, you didn't catch that earlier. Hormone replacement therapy gives quote unquote immediate relief. It gives you that synthetic hormones. So liver healing takes time and lifestyle change. So a lot they give us this microwave society, right? I need something right now. When you can transform your liver in less than a year, literally, and I'm going to show you how you can do that, right? Um, oh, look at all of this. Like, they learn anatomy and biochemistry, but they don't put it into practice, right? And they're not trained to apply that knowledge towards prevention and detox. Their focus is pharmacology and not functional systems. So you guys can screenshot that, okay? Because that's, this is what we're dealing with, right? You want to go to the root. Okay, so we're getting into the omegas and hormones part. How EPA, which is a derivative of omega 3, affects estrogen and health. It reduces inflammation in the body, which helps the hormones balance the hormone signals, and that includes the estrogen effects. It helps regulate the cell membrane, that's the outer coat, so that you have better estrogen signaling. So, in other words, you have your outer coat, your outer shell of your cell, and that is the part of the cell that says, hey, you can come in here, or you can do this. You have my permission to do this. But if you don't have regulation of the cell membrane, you're not going to have better signaling. So the estrogen is not going to know what to do, and that's what causes the out of balance, right? We following, right? Okay. EPA, that's also the omega 3s, supports your heart health, it supports your circulation. Okay, which also helps, again, the natural protective effects of estrogen on cholesterol and blood pressure. So together with estrogen and your omega 3s, you have a stronger heart, improved emotional balance, and hormone balance. And you're gonna, it's so much more. It's so much that, when it comes to estrogen, I think we limit it to just female hormones or reproductive or menopause. Do you know that estrogen helps with, again, we talked about osteoporosis, it helps with your heart, right? It helps with your kidneys, it helps with your adrenals, right? Estrogen does so much for the body beyond reproduction. So it also helps cancer signaling. How does it do that? It can affect how cancer cells grow. So it can inhibit cancer cell growth. Matter of fact, there is a study, you can look it up. The better estrogen balance you have in your body, the less breast cancer risk you have. And it inhibits breast cancer growth. Okay. Omega 3, specifically the omega 3 helps shift estrogen signaling. Again, we talked about that, lowering cancer risk, fertility and hormone. Those of you who have, you're looking to be more fertile. You're like, oh, I don't know why I've been trying and it's not working. Well, higher intake of omegas is linked based upon research to increased estrogen. That's a derivative of estrogen, right? In non-menopausal women. And this supports fertility and healthy hormone cycles. And that means lighter periods, right? No less cramps. There was a post on Instagram, and a girl said, "You women are just out here just like living life and having no pain in your periods and heavy periods." And I'm like, "Yeah, and let me show you that you can too. I can show you." And this is what we're doing right now. So it's not we're going to go through each type of omega, right? There's omega 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. So this is what omega 5 does. Screenshot this, okay? And this is from pomegranate seeds. And we're going to show you how you can get this. Stay tuned, okay? We're only 17 minutes in. We're about to get to the solution. You're going to find out how you can get real plant omegas from all of these sources like pomegranate seeds. And look what it does: anti-estrogenic and anti-inflammatory. All right. It can modulate estrogen receptor activity, slowing excess estrogen signaling. Right. Also, look at that. It helps with prostate cancer. So those are the men in here, right? This is also for you too. Protects against oxidative stress, right? Protects the cells from hardening in your ovaries and uterus. Protects your ovaries and uterus from aging. So you can be 50 and have the ovaries and uterus of a 20-year-old, right? May help balance estrogen dominance by reducing the bad estrogen. Let's go to the next one. All right. So estrogen in your brain, right? Memory and focus, right? A lot of people say, I got that menopausal brain, right? I can't really remember anything. I can't really stay focused, right? And so this is what omegas is doing. It keeps your brain cells healthy and protect against decline, right? So also estrogen regulates the glucose in your brain, which means more brain fuel. It's so much that estrogen does more than reproductive. So it supports your heart, your bones, again, your mood, skin, and metabolism. How many of us deal with the lower belly weight, right? And you think, oh my God, I just can't get rid of it. And some women just cave in and get surgery. Let's get that mommy makeover, right? Well, can we skip? Is it possible that we don't have to have the mommy makeover and we focus on the root, which is our liver, which is cleansing the body internally so that we can produce natural amounts of hormones for our body and we can get rid of that lower body weight naturally? So it's not just about menopause or reproduction, it's a master hormone for your total body health. Okay? Look at what omega 7 does. And this is from sea buckthorn, right? And also macadamia. All right, but pay attention to those words, these sources from sea buckthorn, right? Because we're going to show you how you can get all of this. All right, so supports your mucous membranes, helps with vaginal dryness, right? And this is especially for menopausal women. So I have to ask the question again: is this thing called menopause real? Or should we be really, really diving deep into our body, looking at our anatomy and saying, I didn't know that the estrogen is synthesized from cholesterol. Cholesterol is produced by the liver. And so we need to have a healthy liver in order to have a healthy hormonal balance. And then also, omegas is going to support that all throughout your life and even beyond age 50. Look at what omega 6 does. Okay. Look at what omega 6 does. All right. How are we doing in the chat? How are we doing in the chat? I'm going to hold this. All right. So this is this is to help regulate your menstrual cycle and ovulation. These are what all of the omegas do for your body. Okay. Heart and cholesterol. Again, we talked about that. Supports estrogen's cardiovascular role because estrogen protects the heart. Right. So this is just a summary of all of the female hormones. And this is the part where you can screenshot this, right? Omega 5 protects against estrogen overload. Omega 7 eases menopausal dryness, right? In your vaginal yoni area, right? Supports insulin and hormonal balance. This is omega 6 necessary for hormone production. But it could be harmful if in excess from unnatural sources. And then omega-9 protects your heart, supports progesterone balance, because that's a lot of people's challenge. A lot of women's challenge is that they don't have enough progesterone. Okay. So are you ready to take action? We are at the 21 minutes after. Are you ready to take action and balance your hormones? Go ahead and put a 4 in the chat. Now that you have all of this information, we kind of went through that quick because it's over 20 slides, right? Now that you have all this information, you're like, okay, let's get to the solution. We never say a problem without the solution. So we have to make sure we give you that. But I have to show you the problem. I have to show you the root so that you can go out and say, you know what, I'm going to really start focusing on cleansing my body from the inside out. And maybe this will lower my menopausal symptoms. Maybe I don't even ever have to go through this. Okay. So if you're ready to take action, go ahead and put a 4 in the chat. Yes. Yes. All right. Absolutely. Let's get it. Y'all ready? Y'all are ready? Let's do this. So this is the solution that you have been waiting for. All right. This here is like the ultimate plant-based omega. And why do we say that? Everything that we've covered as far as all of the omegas and what it does for your hormones and where it's derived from. Look at that. Do you guys see that? It's kind of small. But if you can let's go back to the last one. Let's go back. I kind of do that sometimes. I thought it was going to go back to here from current slide. If you guys can see that, you guys would like to have to like zoom in, but it shows we have it from pomegranate seed, right? Sea buckthorn, raspberry seed, all of the sources of the omega-3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. Okay. And it's also from micro sea algae. So you're not getting it from fish. This is a full 100% plant-based omega. And I swear by it. I take it every single day. And if you guys need any of those studies, like if you're like, you know what, I want to just kind of look more into like those studies between omegas and menopause, omegas and lowering the risk of hormone imbalance, feel free to ask. I will definitely get that information for you. All right. But I just could not let you go and like, oh yeah, she told me the problem, but what am I supposed to do about this? Well, this is what you can do tonight. Tonight, right now, right now, right now. Okay. Flooding your bodies with omegas and all of these challenges that we've been dealing with. I always say disease equals deficiency. So if I'm going through something, what does my body need that I am not getting? What is my body deficient in that I'm not getting? And we naturally have a high index of EPAs or omega 3s in our body when we're in like the premenopausal, like in our 20s and 30s, but it drops. And so we need it. We may need help from outside sources, of course, from food. This is a food-based omega. This is not like a vitamin or a supplement that your body has to go through jumps and hoops to even digest it, right? A lot of vitamins that we take, it's like your body doesn't even take it in, and your body's getting 100% of this. So here is your complete nutrition package. This is your complete. We want to make sure that you get the full bang, right? So in order for your omegas to work right in your body, right, you're going to need your fruits, you're going to need your vegetables, you're going to need your berries, you're going to need those superfoods to complement what the omegas is going to do inside of your body once it gets in there. Right. I remember someone said, I take a Advil and I don't like, how does that Advil know to go to the right parts of the body? Well, it's the whole sequences of functions and different things that the body knows the pain points. So you need a foundation in order for you to have these omegas functioning in your body. So this is what I take every day in conjunction with omegas. All right. This is what I take every day. And if you were invited from someone, okay, and it said, you know what? I want you to come to this event because this is information that we all need, especially women, to learn the truth about hormonal imbalance, right? Thank them, right? Because this is something that you're not going to find on a shelf. You're not going to find in a health food store. You have to exclusively be invited to be here. All right. So if you're interested in getting this and you're like, yes, 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 I don't need any more. How do I get this? Right? Put a one in the chat. Let's reach out to you. Right? You're ready. You're like, listen, this is and this is just the beginning. We have other and so much that Juice Plus in itself does for the whole body. I like to think of it as a full insurance policy on my health. Right? You pay for car insurance every month and you don't get into a car accident, thank God. But we pay for it because just in case. Well, this is my just in case. This is going to protect me as well as my exercising and balancing stress. Women, oh my goodness, if I don't leave you with anything, I'm going to leave you with this beyond nutrition, right? In conjunction with the Juice Plus, in conjunction with cleansing your liver and focusing on your gallbladder and all of these different things, please, please maintain a peaceful environment. I don't think we realize how stress ignites and fuels hormonal imbalance, fuels your cortisol levels. And so when your cortisol levels are high, your body's going to prioritize that because it's going to say, hey, I'm in fear. I'm going to prioritize my danger over reproductive hormones. And so it's going to prioritize cortisol production and knock out progesterone. Estrogen is going to rise. And this is where we're seeing fibroids, ovarian cysts, menopausal symptoms. Please find your peace. Please find your peace, whatever that may be in yoga, taking a walk for 30 minutes, putting your feet in grass, letting your skin touch that sun, right? Oh my God, it's so much. It's so much, yeah. I swear, it's just so big. But we about to end. We got 2 minutes, and I want 5 minutes to answer any questions that you have. So I invite you also to join the number one liver detox system that I've put together. Right, the root to balancing your hormones. You heard it here that the liver is the root, and so you want to fully cleanse and flush your liver at least 4 times a year. My group and I, we do it 4 times a year, and we were supposed to start on the 15th of this month. We had to postpone it to the 22nd. So I invite you to join us. I'm going to put a link. I'm going to put a couple of links in the chat so that you can download my free ebook. It's called Eat for the Flush. It's Fire Foods and Recipes to Heal Your Liver. Once you get that ebook, then you'll get put to another page to get your Flush Your Liver Challenge kit on sale for $70 off. Right. And so you have two solutions. If matter of fact, I left you with so many solutions, right? Work on your nervous system. Make sure you find your peace, right? The liver is the root to hormonal imbalance, right? Because estrogen starts there and it really has to go out through that way if there's any excess. And then number three, the Juice Plus nutrition, omegas, your superfoods, your fruits, your vegetables, and your berries. All right. I think that is all the slides. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I just want to pay attention to the chat. All right. All right. Everyone's saying thank you for inviting me. Yes. Any questions? Any questions that you have, please unmute yourself or you can put it in the chat. Anybody have any questions? Wow, we ended at 7:30 on the dots. I am going to start putting those links in the chat for you guys so that you can have access to not only the liver flush that we're doing, but also the Juice Plus that we talked about. And also, before we get into that, how did you guys feel about this information? Like, what was the most important part to you? What stood out the most? What was like, oh my God, a aha moment? Like, what was something that was just amazing for you?
The information was excellent, Dr. Shakira. As a male, of course, learning that the omegas had a direct effect on minimizing prostate cancer is, something incredible, not just for me, but to share. A lot of men have no idea that, that the omegas can play a vital role towards reducing the risk of prostate cancer.
Yes. Wow. And I'm glad you're here so that you can learn that because we wasn't excluding the men.
Yeah.
But men, you guys produce small amounts of estrogen, so it's good for everyone to know
Yeah.
about this.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, absolutely. Anybody else want to unmute themselves or put it in the chat? Like, what are your thoughts? Are you like, yeah, I'm about to just log off and invest in my health right now? Y'all don't have to be shy. I love questions. Okay, so I'm gonna put this last link in here. Hold on one second. And we are going to end if anybody doesn't have any questions. All right, let's do this. All right, so I did put the link to download the free ebook, and you guys will see that. I really trust that you had so much value, all right, and gained so much from this, because this is something that it's not widely taught, right? And when I learned it, I was like, oh wow, like if you don't know me, my main focus is working with women on my 90-day hormone reset program, specifically with menopause, perimenopause, and thyroid, and all of these different challenges like fibroids that we deal with. And so I put you on a specific plan, and this is part of it. And so this is, I specialize in iridology, and that's part of step one, looking your eyes to detect, what's going on, stages of inflammation in different organs in your body, different fields. All right. So there's my website. If you have any other questions or you can always link it to my email, or I will be sending out emails to everyone that joined tonight. So thank you.
you.
Yes, you are welcome. And we are ending.
Thank you, David. David's muted, but I wanted to thank him.